Welcome to this video review, and you're able to see that today I'm having here a zero compromise ZC 420 scope. So 4 to 20 by 50. So this is the smaller brother of the 5 to 27 by 56 scope made in Vienna in Austria. And I'm sure that if you're looking at this review, you already have seen the many reviews in the internet, because it was quite an event that a new player came to the highest premium class of tactical mil scopes. There were other, tries like Tang and Theta, and also some big companies like Minox and Steiner, and everybody else entered this market in the last 15 years. But small companies are not so common. So it was quite, it was interesting, and a lot of people talked about it, honestly speaking. But we also have to say that they didn't fall from the sky and start producing these rifle scopes. So the main people behind Zero Compromise came from Kales, and they came from Night Force. So on the American side, I think that Mick is his name, he came from Night Force, and then on Robert on the European side came from Kales, worked in Kales for many years. So they really did pack a lot of experience when they started to design these scopes. And in this review, I'll go through some basic technical features, and then at the end, like with all the reviews, I'm sure you know this format, I will go through sweet and sour, or a general summary, what I think, and I will share my opinion about all the things which, in my opinion, are really positive with these products, and those opinions, those features, or those things that I think could have been done better. So that you get an honest review or an honest overview of the product, and at least what is my opinion about it. So this is a classical mil FFP scope. So it has a first focal plane reticle, clicks in mils or in milliradians. The reticle subtensions are milliradians, so a full tactical scope. Even though 4 to 20 by 50 is more on the compact side, so it's a bit smaller. Also a little bit lighter, but not light in general, just lighter. The cost of this product is 3,570 euros, almost 3,600 euros, so it's a top premium class. When it came out in 2018, 2019, that price was quite outrageous, I would say. Not outrageous, but it was really expensive. Now, in the meantime, there are many other players that went with a price much higher, and it became more acceptable, I would say. As you can see, the scope is really durable. It's really well made. 36mm main tube, which is the same like on Hensoldt tactical scopes, and now 36mm is quite common also because of the Zeiss Victory V8 hunting scopes. And only 33 centimeters of length. So it really is actually a very compact scope, but 1 kilogram of weight. A little bit less, 990 grams or something like that. Really a lot. Everything else on the scope is quite usual. So the parallax on the left side, it's really detailed and very fine parallax. It goes all the way from 25 meters or maybe even 20 meters to infinity. And it has a lot of travel, so you're able to nicely, finely set it up to the correct value. Then the illumination, which again goes all the way around, full 360 circle. It's almost daytime visible, and the whole reticle is illuminated. So it's not only the central dot. Maybe this would be a great option for them to improve, not improve it, but to offer this additional option also to have a reticle which only has the central dot illuminated. What is very special is that you're able to unscrew this compartment that the batteries hold, and you're able to change the illumination color, either to green or blue. And there are two reticle options inside of this scope, even though in our experience this MP-CT2, this one is by far the most common. So the Christmas tree reticle, here you have all the reticle subtensions and everything, and on the other side you have all the instructions how to use it for distance calculations and so on. Really nice. Turrets are normally locking turrets, double turn, even though they have a small addition in the third turn even. Fast focus, which is lockable. So you have a fast focus here, then you're able to lock it into position. Like I said in many other reviews, in the review of 5-27x56 model, this is a scope which comes with all possible features. Locking turrets, locking fast focus, throw lever incorporated, different colors for illumination and so on. Everything what you can imagine is on this scope. So it really has all the features without any compromise, we could say. The warranty is 30 years, and normally they are made in Austria. This is something what, again, is very, very special and unusual, because the production of this kind of optics moves to Asia, especially to Japan. There is a flood of Japanese tactical scopes on the market at the moment from all the American brands, but this one is made in Vienna, in Austria, so it is different. Okay, I already spoke about the reticle. I can speak about the turrets, locking turrets, and 35 mils of travel. So 35 mRADs of travel, really, really a lot. We could say that the turret is double turn, even though in reality it's even third turn, and it has a mechanical turn indicator. So if I go down, the turn indicator will go in here. Yeah, you see there is no turn indicator inside anymore. If I go up, yeah, it goes up. Here you can see it. I would say that the clicks are really crisp, even though they are not as audible as you would expect. And the locking mechanism works really nicely. Resettable normally with a zero stop. We can check the zero stop. I would say it's 5 clicks below zero. It stops, then you go back to zero and lock it in. Really nice turrets. This design, it's I would say you immediately see that this is a zero compromise scope. Nobody else has this design on the turrets, like also on the magnification ring. And the windage turret is lockable on any position. It works the same way as elevation. It has 12 mRADs or mils of travel. Again, resettable. Everything what you expect for a scope like this. Optically, it's 4-20x50, 5 times zoom, 9.3 meters of field of view on 100 meters, so it's quite wide field of view, even though not the widest in this segment. There are, I would say, High Master from March has a wider field of view, even though the optical performance, honestly speaking, is top notch. It is one of the best scopes we have seen. And especially when you come to the edge of the elevation, where a lot of scopes have usually problems, zero compromise has a little bit less problems than others, so it is really good. The eye relief is 90 millimeters, and the eye box is really, I would say, really good, even though it gets worse on the elevation extremes, like on all scopes. It's normal. I do like the lockable function on the fast focus, because this is something what I have not seen since Premier reticles many years ago. Also very interesting scope brand that it's not on the market anymore, but they really produced great scopes. Okay, the image brightness. This is something what they are really proud on it. So these scopes are really, really bright. Honestly speaking, the optics is top notch, and the optical construction is made by a guy who has really a lot of experience. He worked in Thales, he worked in Leica and so on, so a guy who really knows what he's doing. I think we came to the part where I can do a sweet and sour part, or a summary, even though in the end, before I go into the pluses and minuses and sweet and sour, together with the scope you get a manual, you get a cleaning cloth, which is where you're able to see your scope, a tool for resetting it, a really basic bikini covers. We'll come back to this when we talk about the sour, and I would say very basic scope cover. Okay, so what's really positive about it? I like the story. I like the people, because you know who is behind this scope and you know the whole story. And this fact that it's produced in Vienna, in Austria, by enthusiasts and so on, I really like the story, because we're living in a world where some of the brands are producing mil tactical scopes just because they need them in their product portfolio, not because they would use them, because they would believe in their products and so on. And this is not the story with Zero Compromise. They have only 2 products, and both of them are great. This is the first thing. So I like the story. The second thing is all the features. I'm not able to imagine any single feature that is missing on this scope. The compactness. The scope is really short. You can put it on any small rifle and it packs optical power at the same time. So honestly speaking, optically it's really, really good. And I like the design philosophy behind it. The build quality, it's great. You can see it's made by people who care, and it's made in Europe. You're able to see it. Made in Austria. You see it's written here. Made in Austria. So a really high quality product. I like the 35 mils of elevation. I like even the third turn, which is, you just go in this small part into third turn, but it's a nice addition, even though honestly speaking, I don't know who will need it in reality. I like the locking functions of the turrets, so all of this. Okay, what are the things that could have been done better? The turn indicator for the third turn, from first to the second, it's really clear. From the second to the third, it's a little bit less. Even though, honestly speaking, who will really use this scope in the third turn? I'm not sure that anyone. 36 millimeter tube, it's 34 is more common. Even though 36, there are so many mounts for 36 millimeter tube that it's really not a problem. Price, maybe when these scopes came out, 3,500 euros seemed a lot. Now in 2021, it doesn't anymore. Honestly speaking, 3,500 euros, it's hunting scopes like Zeiss V8, the highest models, the Swarovski Z8, the highest models cost the same amount of money, and their craftsmanship and this fit and finish and the robustness and build quality is not even close. And optically, they are on the same level, because this one is really good optically. So the price is not, I would say it's not that bad anymore. The price is quite acceptable now in 2021. What I do think is that the accessories you get with this bikini, I will show them, bikini lens covers with a 3,500 euro scope are almost a joke. Honestly speaking, I'm not sure who will use them. I wouldn't even put them in a package. Tenebrex lens covers is something what you need on this scope. Also, the scope cover, it's so basic with the best premium tactical scope you're able to buy. So the accessories, I'm not really fond of the accessories, and I think that this scope could come maybe a couple of euros more expensive, but with Tenebrex lens covers, it would be a better package. Zoom factor. When I visit the factory, I was there, I think in 2020, at the beginning, before all the corona started and so on. They said they didn't wish to make any optical compromise, so they choose the 5x zoom and not higher zoom factors. I can understand this, and you're really getting the top-notch optics. But still, we see the trends. Everybody is going towards 8x zoom, 7x zoom, and so on, even 9x zoom, some of the manufacturers. So 5x zoom, it's not so impressive anymore. But I do understand the balance. You get lower zoom factor, but on the other side, you get really superb optical performance. Weight, for a compact model, it's quite a heavy model. It's quite a heavy scope. So at least for 50 millimeter objective lens scope, this one is quite heavy with 1 kilogram. So they could make it a little bit lighter. Apart from that, I would buy it just from the fact that it's so rare, and because of you get all the quality, it's well worth its price. And on top of that, you get a really great story. Who made this scope and why it's been produced and where it's produced and how it's produced. And it's an important factor. Also because it comes with a 30 years warranty, and you know that people in Vienna will service it if something goes wrong. So I think that it would be worth buying from this alone. So, okay, I hope you enjoyed this video review. If I forgot something, please use comments below. I will answer your questions as fast as possible. And thank you for watching. Please subscribe.